Hello, YouTube. They got Becky Part 2 on Tubi. I started to watch it. Becky Part 1 was okay. I don't really remember the plot, but Becky Part 2, what made me click on it was the girl from Good Man, Kamala Harris, or Kamal Harris. She's a good actress, so that's what made me click on it. But today I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions really quickly and standing your ground and following your gut. It was on my mind. It was crazy because I woke up this morning at like 8:30 to use the bathroom, and I couldn't really go back to sleep because I was thinking about my son when he was in pre-K and how his hand was bitten, and he came home and told me, and if he didn't tell me, I would have never known because the teachers didn't care and they didn't tell me anything. And he's been in charter school since kindergarten, and he's learning, growing. He's going to college in the fall, and I owe it to charter school. And I've went through a lot of scrutiny, and people are like, black people, oh, why you put him in charter school? This and that's my personal choice. It's very hard to find good black public schools. I was a para for 9 years, and I can tell y'all the best schools were not in the black areas, and now those are the hardcore, harsh facts. Um, People want to blame funding and all of this, but no, it's the attitudes are wrong in the black public schools, and I was that was a complete turn off to me. Yes, they were good teachers as far as academically, but the fact that they didn't think that my son mattered, that turned me off. Like, if students get into a fight or if somebody touches somebody's child, you're supposed to call and tell them. And not all public schools are bad. Just like I worked in a school, PS 315, and when we had a biter in the room, the principal said, no, he got to go home. Every time he bit somebody, he had to get picked up and went home. That's the way you're supposed to deal with it. And we would take the child to the nurse's office. They didn't take my son to the nurse office, nothing. They didn't care. And so that turned me off, because I'm like, if something else was to happen, you're not going to tell me. My son is going to come home and tell me. So I followed my gut. I was a young mom. I was only like, my son was 4 because he was in pre K. So he had to be 4 at the time. And that was 12 years ago. But I remember like it was yesterday, and I followed my gut to take him out of that school. And about 2 years later, I seen a parent from that school in the street, and she was like, somebody pulled a knife out on her daughter. So I followed my gut that that school was going downhill. So yeah, and I want to tell any parent out there, if you feel something, if you taking your child to daycare and it just don't feel right, you dropping them off and they're saying, Mom, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Listen, even with family members, if your child is saying, hey, I don't want to go, don't make them go, because it's going to blow up in your face. And it is listen to your children. That's the best advice I could give. But I wanted to also talk about not just with your children in regarding to their education in their schools, but listening to your gut when it comes to people, even your own age, or they could be older than you, whatever. And so, always listening to your gut when it comes to anything. When it comes to, you could be at a party, and if something's telling you to leave, I leave. I listen to that inner voice. Or even some churches. Hello. Somebody's trying to invite you, and something inside of you is just telling you, like, nah, this ain't right. It ain't healthy. It ain't holy in here. It ain't too kosher. Like, that's what I want people to do this year, is listening to that gut, speaking up for yourself. I was just telling my coworker that, a similar thing with churchgoers and partygoers, they'll try to make you feel guilty for not coming to the event. And it's like, you telling them, yo, I have plans, but they don't want to hear it. A person that's kind of a little passive aggressive, speak up for yourself. Don't let somebody pressure you into something you don't want to do, right? Speak up, speak your mind. If you don't feel comfortable with something, say, hey, I don't really feel comfortable in coming to this event. I don't feel comfortable coming to your church. I don't really like your church. Like, let's do that. Let's be blunt and let's be honest. I know I do it, but my resolution is to be even more honest. I remember coming to my father's church, and the lady, mind you, her son don't come to the church at all, but she worried about me. And I was coming at least once a month because my son used to be there for the youth. She's like, oh, why you don't come every Sunday? You're not supposed to say that to somebody. You're supposed to say thank you for coming, right? Like, I've never gone into the club and somebody say to me, oh, why you don't come more often? I come when I want to, when I damn well please. Like, and I was thinking about that. I was like, church is the only place where people try to make you feel guilty for not being there all the time. Like, you're supposed to say thank you, come again. You're not supposed to ask me why I don't come. Like, think about it. All the places you go to, concert halls, you know, and that's how I am with everything. I'm very balanced with everything. Like King's Theater, I'm going there tonight. I'm not going to go there more than 2 times a year. Or, you know, that's how I space everything out. Barclays, I'm there about 2-3 times a year. Anything. Like, I feel like everything needs to be balanced, you know. Clubbing, I obviously used to do it more often. But even back then, it would be every other weekend, or it would, you know, different places. It would never be the same place over and over. That's redundancy. The only thing I feel like that should be consistent and redundant and something to be committed to is family and work. And that's my opinion. I feel like the only thing that matters is your family and your job. I would never want to be committed to anything outside of that. And that's just my opinion. You know, some people are committed to gambling. Some people are committed to church. I don't like commitment. I don't like something that I have to feel like I have to. Like, I don't like the feeling of obligation. And that's what, you know, and some people, you know, they try to do that with partying. Like, oh, I have a friend. She kind of got the hint now. She knows not to pressure me. But it's like trying to make you feel like you have to go to this party. I ain't got to do shit but stay black and die. Right? So if I want to stay in my pajamas all day and relax, that's my right. That's my choice. You know? So I just want to, I can't stress that enough. Do what you want to do. If you're an adult and you pay your own bills, don't let anybody from any industry or anything make you change who you are, right? If you're a homebody and that's what you enjoy doing, and I was just telling my coworker, I was like, I always been like that since I was young. I'm not going to say I have the perfect personality, but I accept people for who they are. If I have somebody, you know, just like I had a friend, she was a homebody. I used to go to her house. I'll invite her to places here and there, but I knew that she didn't like going out. Going out wasn't her thing, right? Out of the whole time we were friends, we hung out maybe 4 or 5 times within a 7-year or 8 years period, right? And then I had another period I was close friends with. Her and I went everywhere. We always went out. And the only time I would be at her house was one time I came over because we were picking a hotel to stay at for our trip. But any other time it was a party. Like, she was a going out person, you know. I meet people where they at, right? Like, if I have someone who I know is dedicated to religion and they don't go out to secular things, I'm not going to say, oh, come to this club, because I know that that's not what they're down for, right? Me, I'm an open-minded person. I'll go anywhere. But don't keep inviting me over and over if you know I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? So, boundaries, respect, listen to your gut, and be open and vocal with what you believe in. That's what we going into 2026. And that's all I gotta say. Don't let nobody punk you.